Hello everyone, this is Defense Politics Asia, and this is the Frontline Changes Report. And for the day of 865 for the 7th of July, in the situation report yesterday on the DPA War channel, I actually was so tired, I actually changed the date, which when I don't really have to change it. So, kind of stupid, because yesterday's Citadel is for the 6th, it's not for the 7th. Yeah. But whatever it is. So this is the frontline changes report. There is a few frontline changes. They are all pro-Russian frontline changes. Yeah. So the at Petrivka, Pivnishny, Voskhod, Krasnohorivka, and Novopokrovka. So we're going to go into Petrivka. At Petrivka, there is some updates. The Russian forces have actually managed to advance. Let me draw the arrow. Over towards Petrivka in this direction. They are attacking this direction, and there is some frontline changes. With the Russians taking this squarish looking forest lines. The Russian forces have taken these grounds. This is based on the mapping, I think, believed by Deep State UA. Yep, it's by Deep State UA. These are based on Ukrainian mapping. The Russian forces have advanced in this area here. So this is pretty firm. So there's the advance around here, over in the Kupiansk front. And so that's all from this frontline change. Kupiansk is also over here. The next frontline change is over at the New York front at Pivnishny. The Russian forces have some advance, some developments over in the battle at Pivnishny. The Russian forces, okay, so some background. Ukrainian forces have this high-rise building region as a main defensive zone. The Russian forces yesterday have advanced outwards around here, and it seems like they are now going to the rear position. This is now the latest frontline change. This is where the frontline change is, going to the rear position, and they are geolocated along this building here. So the Russians are pushing in this direction, around at the rear of the high-rise buildings neighborhood. Very interesting. So I'm not sure if this is deliberate, to do what I said they might do, or no, it just happened that they are there. So anyway, this is the frontline change over at Pivnishny. Over at Voskhod, over at the DFK front, there is some major frontline change around here in the southwest of Voskhod, or north of Novopokrovka, Persia. As expected, because this is just all water bodies, because if I change to this mapping, you can see that there's a river around here, and then there's a major lake. So, which means that the Ukrainians are unlikely to hold defense around here. It's a bit dangerous. So they probably have withdrew to another line that allows them to some better defensive positions. And the Russians indeed have taken the entire of this area here, capturing all these tree lines, and basically stopping this road going to the other side of this water body. So there's one more road south of this, but the fact that the Russians are here, and of course with the distance around just 1 kilometer, the Russians is pretty close to having no operational stoppage or blocking of this road. But the Ukrainians have a massive entrenchment around here, so it remains to be seen how the Russians can stop the road from being used. But it is a massive development from the Russians developing from Voskhod towards this water body north of Novopokrovka, Persia. So anyway, the next frontline change is at the Battle of Krasnohorivka over at the Donetsk front. And in this region, the Ukrainian mapping have expanded the Russian control in the center part of Krasnohorivka. So this is Krasnohorivka, and then center part, Russian forces have expanded their zone of control, capturing everything south of the central park and taking more of this neighborhood in this residential area. So the Russians are expanding their control, but the Ukrainian mapping does not acknowledge any of these things. So just take note. And the last frontline change is over at Novopokrovka, over at the Zaporizhia front. So this is Zaporizhia, Orkhiv sector, and over at Novopokrovka. At Novopokrovka, there is a geolocation of Russian forces along this tree line, signifying that the Russians have expanded their control in this area here. There is allegedly some trenches around here, so which is these two area. So maybe the Russians have not taken these trenches, but they are going to go around it in a pincer. That's a possibility. So anyway, this is a slow progress from the Russians from tree line to tree line along the highway. So, but it is concerning that the Russians are still pushing in this area here. Because if they push all along the road, they'll basically close up the entire area. So it is pretty important development around here. So these are the frontline changes over the past 24 hours for the day of 865 for the 7th of July. The SIP will come maybe a few hours later. I'm not sure. I just finished DPA open mic, so do check it out. In the link here, we have a 7-hour discussion of all sort of things, including the Ukraine war. Do check it out. I think you might like it, and I'll see you guys in the next update.